Day and welcome to another episode of In the Mix. I'm Jonigan Charfris. Thanks so much for tuning in. A great show lined up for you this evening. Coming up, we give you the details to the Electric Island Festival taking place on Saturday, June 27th. A little bit later, we get a recap of SOS 2015 when they took over the Pentagon and Tumon. And we close out the show tonight with a rundown of week 4 of our lip sync throwdown. But first things first, June is Pride Month, and I want to take this time to introduce you to Kyle and Lance. Here's more. It was a photo that was seen and shared by millions around the world, so much so that it caught the attention of Buzzfeed, who would eventually do a story. The photo is of Navy Lieutenant Kyle Banderman on bended knee proposing to his boyfriend, Lance Buchanan, in front of the Washington state capitol.
That picture has been shared, literally millions of times since the proposal. It was the day after the proposal that it kind of went viral on social media. And with us, little humble, Southerners who really didn't want any attention. We were just so happy for people to be able to rejoice for us. I realized it was kind of a provocative photo just because I was in uniform, and it was me professing my love for Lance, who does happen to be the same sex as myself. But that wasn't the point. The point for us was my friends capturing our engagement. Who wouldn't want that?
There was a couple, of course, negative comments here and there, but I would rather have 1 or 2 good comments opposed to 50 bad ones. It doesn't even matter. It's as long as you have support from other people, and it's just an overwhelming feeling.
According to Kyle, it was a proposal that was months in the planning.
In May, I arranged it all. I tricked him. He's a photographer as well, very talented. So I tricked him into thinking that he was taking pictures of one of my fellow officers, him getting engaged to his fiancée. But instead it was him getting proposed to. And it was in Washington, D.C., that's where I was stationed at the time, and it was down by the Capitol building. Very, very feel good for us.
Knowing he would receive his orders in November, the duo got married in October last year in front of family and friends.
I had 2 weeks left of work after that, and then we went on our honeymoon afterwards, and now we're on a 3-year honeymoon out on Guam. What more could you ask for on a tropical island?
Our home tropical paradise.
Being a same-sex couple and in the military, one would think it would pose problems on an island which, at the time, didn't allow people of the same sex to get married. But Kyle and Lance said the transition was rather smooth.
I think that maybe registering stuff at the DMV, being a same-sex couple whose marriage is federally recognized and not locally recognized. I had to carry around a briefcase with my marriage license, marriage certificate, his orders, so to show that I was actually on there, and his spouse, etc.
They were fortunate to have friends on island who were in same-sex relationships that blazed a trail, making it easier for Kyle and Lance.
They came out before the overturn of Don't Ask, Don't Tell and DOMA. And so they got married after the overturn of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, but weren't even recognized until the overturn of DOMA. So the government didn't pay for them to be transported out here or to move out here. They had lots of trouble getting on base. It was just an administrative hassle. So we've been very blessed that all that has already been worked out.
When word got out that the same-sex ban was lifted on marriages locally, the two were extremely happy.
Guam was very isolated, so people who are here may not be fortunate enough to travel back to the United States to get a marriage license, whereas with us, we were from the States and we could travel. If our state back home didn't recognize our marriage, we could travel to New York, Washington, D.C., Maryland, wherever we need to obtain our marriage license. But now that it's legal here on Guam, our fellow Guamanians can rejoice in equality.
It's like having a present and allowing someone to get to experience that present for the first time and see it for them. It's just awesome.
The duos say that Guam has been incredibly good to them, and they have fallen in love with the island and its people.
That it is like America's best kept secret, because it's so far away that I think most people in the States don't even know where it is, which is such a shame because there's so much culturally here to offer. Just the creation, to see what God's made here, is awesome, and then the people are just incredible. It's like one big happy family, and for the most part we feel welcomed into that family.
And with the month of June being Pride Month, what does it mean to them?
I think just to be yourself and take pride in who you are and never settle, because love will always win.
I think any Pride Month is an opportunity for you to celebrate a piece of yourself. Yes, I'm married to Lance, and that's a big part of myself. But my sexuality is not my entire identity. It's just a piece of myself. And we all have those pieces of ourselves. And some of those pieces of ourselves are parts that have been oppressed by other people. And so whether we're talking about Black History Month or Chamorro History Month or LGBT Pride Month, it's an opportunity for us to celebrate that freely and feel like the walls are down and I can be myself. And thank God that we can all do that and celebrate that. And so I hope people celebrate with us, though they may not participate. That's fine. But allow us to celebrate ourselves and celebrate this one piece of us.
Don't go anywhere, because when we return, we give you all the details to the Electric Island Festival. You're watching In the Mix.